Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, because in this episode I'm going to make a wrought iron snail. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are, we're in the smithy now. I've just grabbed this little bit of scrap metal out of my pile. It's about a 5-inch long, 125mm piece of, what would that be, half inch, 12mm, something like that. It's just rubbish, and I'm going to chuck that in the fire now, and then we're going to straighten him out first, and then I'll get stuck into doing my little bit of forging. Let's go. Okay folks, so there's our little bit of scrap sorted out now. It's reasonably straight. It's a bit longer than 5.5 inches actually. It's 5.5, so it's about, I've just measured it sort of roughly on my hand, but it's about 6.5 inches long. About 6.5, half-inch round bar, straightened out. What I'm going to do with him now is I'm going to flatten out the end, then I'm going to cut it down the middle and spread it out, and I'm going to do the same method that I would use if I was going to be putting horns on a ram's head or something like that. They're going to be these little feelers, because you know they just stick up like that, don't they? So that's going to be the first part of the forging, and then after that I'm going to draw out his tail, shell tail, out into a long round point. That's going to be his shell. Now I'm going to fold him in half, forge weld his tail, roll up his shell, and that's basically him made. You know, make his eyes look like they're doing something, and then he'll pretty much be made. Awesome, let's get stuck into that. Okay ladies and gentlemen, what I've done is I've drawn our piece of round bar, our half-inch or so round bar. I've made it square all the way along now. It's slightly wider than it is thick. It's about 12mm wide, about 10mm thick. That's half inch by about 3/8. What I'm going to do now is about halfway down our snail body, I'm going to draw it out now to a long round point, all the way along like that, quite long, quite thin at the end. Later on I'm going to curl that up and that's going to become the shell of our snail. There's his little antennae sticking out, so my next operation is to draw out his shell, so that's what I'll do right now. Okay folks, there you go. I've drawn out his little tail, or what's going to become his shell, from here up to about there, around about halfway, a little bit over maybe. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold him in half, about where the transition point is between the flat part, which is his pad or his foot, I think that's what you call it on the snail, you know, the bit they go along on. Fold his shell over. Then I'm going to do a forge weld on him, I'm going to do a tack weld, then I'm going to do a bit more of a weld, and as I'm finished that weld I'll get down into forging heat. I'm going to draw his tail out, which will become the back part of his pad. And then I'm going to fold his face over so he's got a bit more of a chunkier sort of head up this end. And then once I've done that, I'm going to curly up his shell, slightly cant it onto one side like a snail normally is, and then he'll be done. Brilliant. Not much more forging to go on this one now. Well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of that forging. I had a lot of fun out there in the smithy, I have to say, making my little snail. Here he is here. It's a very simple forging. It doesn't take much material. It doesn't take a long time to make them. But you know what? You know what I'm going to have to do now? I'm going to have to call this a snail fail, because his proportions are all over the place. You know, I was struggling to hold on to him a lot of the time. But one thing I would say was not a fail. I did not fail to have fun. I had an absolute blast making this little fella, even if he does look a little bit weird, you know. So I hope you don't beat me up too bad in the comments there. I haven't made one of these for about 25 years. I just did it on impulse. I was like, you know, I'm going to make a snail. Let's get out in the smithy and go make one. And I did, you know, and I quite like him. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe you can get out to your smithy and make yourself a little snail for yourself. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.